Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hello, crypto friends. Hope you're doing well. Just got off the road after 6 hours. Certainly had to adjust my trading game plan. We'll go over that. Got another 6 hours to go tomorrow. Pretty cool driving down south and leaving when the trees just have little buds on them. Then farther south you go, the bigger the leaves, and then onto full-blown trees here in Georgia. So first thing I want to point out is getting a lot of questions about the crypto alert system, crypto.chartguys.com. And just want to point out that we have a playlist on the YouTube channel called Crypto Alerts, and it's all videos specific to those alerts, whether it's walkthroughs or reviews or explaining what each individual alert is and how we use it. There's at least 20 videos on there, about 20 videos, and those are definitely useful if you are interested in or using the alert system. Check that out, and that content can potentially help you. So I'm excited. I'm all jazzed up, not only from the bull trade that we just got in the bull break, but I'm noticing some correlations now. And for you, those of you that don't know, with the chart guys, I've been watching charts ever since the chart guys started about 3 years ago, probably an unhealthy amount, let's say 5 days a week, 9 hours a day, a lot. So I'm constantly watching correlations. Correlations are always shifting and changing. And I'm watching the S&P 500 and Bitcoin getting very, very similar. And I saw it yesterday on the 5-minute time frame, more in sync with each other than I have seen in 11 months of looking for this correlation. So look at this action yesterday. The real candlesticks here are Bitcoin, and the background here is SPY. Now, this correlation is going to be harder to follow than any I've followed recently, and that's because 24-hour market of Bitcoin and limited market of the S&P 500 going to have to play around with putting the futures action on SPY over the Bitcoin chart, because futures do trade through the night. But just look at this action, and the start of the trading day here is when SPY dumped. We can see Bitcoin dumped. They're not exactly in line with the timing, but they both bounced, they both pulled back, and you can see it's just a very rough pattern of consolidation and continuation pretty much all of yesterday's action, and we had the close here at the end of the day. And towards the end of the day, I assume this pattern is going to continue, where the correlation at the start of the day and the end of the day is when we vary the most, because that's when the most volume and the most action is coming on the S&P 500. If you want to track the S&P 500, use SPX or SPY. SPY is the ETF, but either way, that's what I would be watching for correlations. But look at this. This is what is now a big wake-up call. Well, first off, the weekly time frames. We know the weekly charts are extremely similar in their equilibrium patterns that we're watching, and it's just the pullback, the low was at the same week. February 5th had that week. We had the higher low 1 week after the S&P 500 than we did on Bitcoin. Look, you can see we're topping out at the same time. So it's the same equilibrium pattern, and we're getting very, very tight. Last week, it looked like SPY was forming its new lower high. And actually, I just want to bring up its own chart here on SPY just to show you. So here's Bitcoin. We're still looking for the potential lower high. The fact that I said the lower high was in very likely yesterday, that's changing now, and that's because of this correlation. So look at SPY on the weekly time frame: high, low, lower high, higher low. Again, it's the same pattern as Bitcoin: lower high and higher low. We're getting extremely tight here. What has happened in the past week is earnings of the S&P 500. The tech sector is the biggest holding in the S&P 500, and the tech sector has had earnings. Netflix, Amazon, Facebook. Amazon and Facebook just had big beats yesterday and today, and they are the reason the market has this lower wick. And we're going to see a break on this equilibrium pattern for the S&P 500 sometime in early May. We're speeding up the timeline in terms of when we're looking for a break. If you're listening right now and saying, I don't care about stocks, why are you caring about stocks? I'm here to learn about tech or about cryptocurrency. The environment is changing. You better get on. If you want to trade cryptocurrency, you better get on this market, watch these correlations, and start getting familiar with the S&P 500, because We are very close to a break on the weekly time frame on SPY. It's likely going to break on SPY first, and then we're going to be looking for it to follow through, and we're going to look for a break on Bitcoin, likely in the same direction. But here's why I'm so jazzed up, and it's not only what I just showed you in terms of the correlation we had yesterday. Look what happened when Amazon earnings came out. So look at this move. This is Bitcoin, huge breakout, bull break of the equilibrium. This is Amazon getting priced into the market and the market reacting to Amazon's bullish move. So the market shot up at the same time that Bitcoin did. And look at this action. Very similar consolidation, continuation. I am now convinced over the past 2 days that there is a definite correlation that we need to be paying attention to the market and cryptocurrencies. Now, people have been talking about it a lot previously, saying they've been noticing some things. Absolutely, that's possible. But just in terms of, I mean, I literally am staring at the 5-minute time frames, 8 hours a day. And this is the most significant correlation on the 5-minute time frames that I've seen, again, in 11 months. So I'm excited because this is going to give us more clues. These correlations give us more clues. I have more things to be looking at, and I'm very familiar with what the market is doing and been doing that for 8 years and very intensely for the past 3 years with the chart guys, going over live analysis every single day. And if we get these correlations to link up between cryptocurrency and these markets, it could mean a number of things. It could mean more institutional investors are getting involved. Confidence in the overall stock market means confidence in higher risk, higher reward, avenues like cryptocurrency. So if this correlation keeps up, it's going to be beneficial to us as traders because it just gives us more information. So that's exciting. Now let's check out the regular old technical analysis. So here on the daily time frame, we're going to form an inside bar today, and we're going to be watching for this inside bar to break, and that's Litecoin actually, but same story on Bitcoin. We're going to be looking for this inside bar to break tomorrow. And the bulls are still holding up really well. We formed a new daily support at 8,602, and we have the potential to see continuation on this move. Remember, on the weekly time frame here, anything under 11,700 is a lower high. So while it looked very convincing that our lower high was set yesterday on the weekly time frame, and I say that due to the magnitude of the pullback in one day, the volume climax signaling the potential top, and again, it still could go either way. What makes a good trader is the ability to adjust and react to changes, because again, everything is always changing. So we need to be able to react to that. So in my video yesterday, I said we're going to look for a 4-hour equilibrium pattern. We got that last night. I said I'm favoring a bear break, but that doesn't mean I'm going to make any decisions. I'm going to wait for the break, and I was ready for the bull break and am currently in a position, which I'll show you in just a minute. But daily inside bar forming, and it was just a perfect 4-hour equilibrium where we had our high, our low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low was a double bottom, and then it got really tight on the 15-minute time frame. So I was watching this on the 15-minute chart. You can see how tight we got here, and I was literally driving on the highway, pulled over, placed a stop buy order at 8,899. Now, why did I choose that level? Number one, I was confident that my order alone at 8,899 would break this lower high of resistance at 8,906. I didn't want to wait for there to be a clear break because this equilibrium pattern was so tight that I know everybody is watching this pattern. I know shorts are going to cover when it breaks, and I know bulls are going to buy in, and we're going to see a huge move real quick. So I don't want the slippage associated with that move. I want to be a part of the move that breaks those resistances and triggers everybody else's stop buys. That's a little bit risky. I risk being the potential running up to the wall, being unable to break it, and then we reject, and then I bought the top. That has happened before to me, I think one time, but it's far more successful. Maybe at this point, it's maybe 6 out of 7 times it's worked. I'm just pulling that out of the air, but it's something along those lines. But that was my strategy, getting in before the break to trigger those stop buys, because I know there's going to be stop buys at 8,906 when this level breaks, and then I know there's going to be more at 8,929 and even more at 8,945. The best part about a really tight equilibrium pattern is when the break occurs, there's a lot of juice for the bulls because of how tight we are. Whereas if we had to make, a $100 move just to break resistance, we've already used up $100 of gas by the bulls. Whereas here we just had the initial bull break. And again, a lot of follow through. This is exactly what the bulls were looking for, breaking all 4 resistances on this move. So I was watching a couple things. You could have drawn a downtrend resistance line. And I drew this downtrend resistance line in the chat room. This is one that I was watching. We broke above it, we back tested it, and then took off. So again, I didn't make a decision based on that trend line, but just a visual to help guide us. But the clear bull break, the stop buys, the biggest problem that we're seeing with people that miss this move is that their stop limit buys were too tight. And if you have one limit order that triggers $20 of slippage, if your limit after your stop is less than $20, you're not going to get filled. So a lot of people got skipped because they had their stop limits, less than $20. Personally, for me, I don't put a limit on my stop buys. I do sometimes put a limit on my stop losses, but I've stopped doing it a lot, and that's because the environment has changed. Back, 9 months ago, when we had wicks and $1,000 moves in single candlesticks, it was absolute insanity, and there was a lot more slippage, and there's more volume, and there's more liquidity, so that does not happen as often. So I am not as protective and not as scared of slippage as I was back then. So I have adapted my strategy. I do sometimes put in stop limits, but not very often these days. So I'm currently in the position, I told you my entry, and I've started scaling out a little bit up here, still in 60% of my position because the hourly chart, we have a bull cross of these exponential moving averages, and I'm looking to consolidate while these exponential moving averages catch up and looking to see healthy consolidation, establish an hourly higher low, and then we'll see if we get continuation. But what I'm looking at on the 4-hour time frame is a potential another equilibrium pattern forming. So we had this little mini equilibrium pattern, but I'm looking for the high, low, and a move to form a lower high compared to our recent high of 9,763. It could form in the 9,300s. It could form in the 9,500s. It all depends on the volume. I don't know where it's going to form, but I do expect another equilibrium pattern to form on this where we'll see a move. We'll top out, set the lower high. We'll pull back and set a higher low. I expect to stay in this broader equilibrium pattern longer than we were just in that most recent one. And I was surprised at how short-lived the bounce was. In the video yesterday, I said, the bulls can make it up here to 9,300 even if I was looking for the more equilibrium on this wide range. We didn't even get that far, but now it looks like the bulls are getting that far. So again, anticipating yet another 4-hour equilibrium, but with a lot more range than we had on the previous one. So the previous one, our range was 8,600 to 9,178. So that is a $578 range, and I'm going to be looking for a range on this move from pretty much 8,661 to wherever we top out, which is going to be a wider range. So I'm patient with the rest of my position because the bulls clearly have control at this move. And again, the market sentiment, we're expecting bullish upside in the S&P 500 tomorrow in a reaction to these tech earnings and Amazon earnings. And I do think that is now having a significant impact. I can't disregard that the break of Bitcoin happened right after Amazon earnings came out and the market ran up bullish in response to that. Let's actually just pull up, before we get to the other names here, Bitcoin and Amazon. Let's just compare how they went after hours. And you might think, what in the world would Bitcoin and Amazon have to do with each other? Look at this breakout. That cannot be a coincidence in my opinion. Look at the consolidation and then continuation for Amazon. Here's consolidation and continuation for Bitcoin. So there's definitely a correlation in my opinion. I'm convinced. So we're going to be looking for healthy consolidation on Bitcoin. The 15-minute time frame hasn't consolidated in an hour and a half. And we'll look to pull back and form a higher low compared to 9,069 to keep those bulls in control. And things are about to get interesting in early May with both the S&P 500 and Bitcoin and the whole crypto space by default. So Ethereum, daily inside bar as well. We've got our daily higher low of support at 578.75. 4-hour time frame got extremely tight. And here's that clear bull break. Again, same thing. I'm looking for a lower high to form compared to the top of our move and for a longer, wider equilibrium to play out into this weekend. And we'll see a break this weekend, probably Sunday, but we'll see how it goes one day at a time. Again, people ask for predictions and things, and you want to look out and say, where's the price going to be in 2019? And it just doesn't matter. We have to take it one day at a time because every day we get new information. And I have more information than I had 2 days ago, which is adjusting what I am expecting to happen. So 24 hours ago, I was pretty darn confident that the weekly lower high was in for Bitcoin. Now that I see the reaction to the Amazon earnings and the S&P 500, and I see the bull break on this hourly equilibrium, I say, okay, well, maybe the weekly chart can see continuation. And even if we get up to 10,500 on the weekly chart for Bitcoin, it's still a lower high, and we're still going to stay in this equilibrium pattern. So that's entirely possible as well. One day at a time, new information, adjusting our game plans, and staying agile. So here on the hourly time frame, the bull break for Ethereum, very similar equilibrium. So high, low of the dump, high of the bounce, higher low. And my magnet is not cooperating, but hopefully at this point you guys are getting the hang of it. And if you are newer, it will click eventually. And we actually got a bull break early here on Ethereum, but no follow through because Bitcoin had not broken bullish. That was a little bit of a tell. Litecoin and Ethereum both had some minor bull breaks initially. Some of the altcoins had some bull breaks initially. Props to members who were pointing this out and saying, I think we are more likely to break bullish because of this. And I was absolutely of the same mindset. Those are clues. They are all little pieces of the puzzle. We put the pieces of the puzzle together to get the clear big picture. So here's the clear bull break as well. The next resistance we're looking at here, and I got to find the next resistance on Bitcoin. Not sure if I highlighted that. But here on Ethereum, I'm looking at 669.48. So that's the next resistance level we're looking at. On Bitcoin, the next resistance, I would say we're looking up at, let's see what the hourly's got. So up here at 9464. So there's space for the bulls to see continuation. And I'm just going to continue scaling out of Bitcoin again because I'm anticipating this 4-hour lower high. I'm just going to exit, 10% of my position every $50 or so. And that's how I scale out and lock in my profit, and certainly not trying to be greedy and just taking it one trade at a time. April has been a gift for the cryptocurrency space. Awesome trading as a bull. So Ethereum, we're going to be looking for some consolidation as well. 15-minute higher low. We have a couple levels right now. I'm looking at 657.31 and 647.05. Litecoin daily chart, inside bar likely. Daily support established down at 138.80. We did break the low of consolidation on 421, and we did not on these other names. Ethereum, 421, we held a higher low. Bitcoin, 421, we held a higher low, just barely. So there's another little instance where Litecoin's a little bit weaker. So we're looking up at the inside bar, the 4-hour bull break here as well. Equilibrium bull break, nice follow through. Next resistance, 157.50. And looking at it on the hourly time frame. So we had the equilibrium, and these equilibriums have been so good to us. Higher lows, lower highs. There's our little bull break. See how it broke early and then consolidated, and we couldn't trust the bull break because Bitcoin didn't follow, but it's a clue. And then there's the Bitcoin following and Litecoin seeing that correlation. And nice follow through. So I'm just thinking back right now. I've made 4 major trades in the last week on cryptocurrency, the last 2 weeks, and all of them have been equilibrium breaks for the bulls. Actually, I take that back. There was one oversold bounce yesterday, but other than that, all equilibriums. So Litecoin 15-minute time frame, we got support. We're looking for a higher low to be established, and it's here at 150.80. And there's another little support here at 152.61. And the bulls trying for continuation. They are still seeing strength here. Haven't topped out just yet. And when we do, we'll just look for healthy hourly consolidation to form a higher low. So exciting things to be watching heading into tomorrow. Again, 4-hour broader equilibrium, more space, more time to play out rather than this tight, small one that just broke out. And again, just to review, when the hourly time frame gets this tight and this perfect of an equilibrium pattern, everybody's watching it, bulls, bears, everybody's reacting to it when it follows through, and we can see the reaction, shorts covering and stop buy orders all triggering at the same time. Just like that, you get a $200, $300 move, 2-3% real quick. So my trading style, what I did is I placed my stop buy order. I was back on the highway. I told ChartGuys Jason to call me if we get the break, so I know to pull over instead of stop loss. And that's how it ended up playing out, and just working with what I can and still able to profit by just staying in tune with the charts and certainly not doing anything dangerous while on the road. For those of you that are trying to trade and chart while on the road, please stop. That's just dumb. Let's be real. So that's that. And also we put out a video, and Jason put out a video on the alerts. So I highlighted that playlist. He just added one today in terms of review on the last couple days and how that played out. So I appreciate you all watching. Hope you continue to do good things. Let's see. Oh, one thing I want to point out, a life tip. I was thinking about this while I was driving. So I have a good memory, but I really like remembering things, and I like associating memories with senses. It makes it easier for me to recall those memories, whether it's smell or sound. So what I'll often do is intentionally associate songs with moments. And, I have Fool of the Hill by the Beatles. I can remember sitting on a mountain in Ice Lake Basin, Colorado, watching the sunset when I put that song on. I've got George Harrison, Here Comes the Moon, on my birthday, camping out on a lake with a giant full moon. Just my whole life, I've been associating music with memories, and then I can replay those songs, and it recalls my memory so much stronger that I can go right back into that moment and relive it a lot more vividly than without that. So that's just a little trick that I kind of did on my own when I was road tripping. In certain instances when I was like, man, I want to remember this, I would pick a certain song, I would get into the moment, and I would just feel the music and take it all in, and then I'm able to recall that. So try that out for yourself. If there's a special moment or place for you, play a special song and associate the two with each other, and then you'll be able to recall it a lot better. So thanks again. Tomorrow, the video, let's see, that'll probably be another later video by the time I get off of the road. Got to see Yanni on Saturday. That's going to be awesome. Got my buddy a ticket to see Yanni with his lady as well. Sharing the Yanni love. Appreciate you all. Thanks for all the likes, shares, all that good stuff. Really supportive community, and certainly providing all the motivation that I need to keep doing this for a long time. We'll see you tomorrow.